Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to cover one of my favorite ETFs going forward, and that's the TAP Alpha SPY Growth and Daily Income ETF, ticker symbol TSPY. If you want exposure to the S&P 500 plus consistent monthly dividends, you need to know about TSPY. So let's break it down. Before we get into this exciting ETF, first let me introduce myself. My name is Wes, and for the last 3 years, I've been researching ways to make passive income in both the stock market and in cryptocurrency, and I want to bring my results, good or bad, to you through this channel. If that sounds good to you, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and please like this video. I greatly appreciate it. I put a lot of effort into them. What is TSPY? It launched in August 2024. TSPY tracks the S&P 500 for growth, then adds an active options overlay, writing daily out-of-the-money calls. That means every trading day the fund sells new call options that expire by the day's end. Why? To harvest daily premiums, maximize time decay, and generate extra income. On top of S&P 500 returns, TSPY is managed by TAP Alpha and trades on the NASDAQ. TSPY is very easy to access, and if you want to compare it to the SPY or other covered call funds, SPY provides pure index exposure with quarterly dividends, but the TSPY ETF offers monthly distributions. It targets higher cash flow by actively capturing option premiums. Recent data shows TSPY yields above 13%. That's $3.45 per share over the past year, all paid monthly. The most recent dividend was about 29 cents per share, paid in September. Let's take a look at these distributions. They're very impressive in my opinion. 30 cents per share October 8th, September 3rd, 29.2 cents, August 6th, 29.1, July 2nd was 28.5, because they're actually going up quite a bit, a couple cents per share each month. Another important statistic is the NAV price is right around where the market price is. Sometimes the NAV price can be way lower and the market price can be way higher, and that would lead to the price depreciation in the future. But this one is pretty steady. If we look at the market price compared to NAV for the last year, it's very, very close. The market price is a little bit lower than the NAV price, which is not a bad thing. Year to date, the market price is a little higher, 13.69%, compared to the NAV price of 13.54%. Since inception, the market price is a tad higher, which is not bad, and it's 22.8% market price and 22.51 is the NAV price. Now let's get into the charts, because today was a very red day and I was buying up shares of TSPY and TDAQ. Today there was an announcement of tariffs for China could skyrocket in the future, which I think is probably a bluff, and I think we're going to bounce back on Monday. But at the same time, TSPY was at a good spot to buy. If you look the trend line, it broke the trend line like everything else did. If you even look at NVIDIA, it was a similar chart. Came down from the trend line where it was going up because of the news. TDAC was very similar too, and that's at a support level. I bought some TDAC today. That's the last video that I covered, and it looks like it's holding at that 25.70 mark. TSPY is kind of the same, and post it kind of came up a little bit, not as much as TDAC for some reason, but I think they're both buys at these price levels. If we look at a kind of a longer term view and we take the 4-hour chart, it's still a very nice trend line going up. Let's make a trend line here. if you're coming here all the way up, you know, worst case scenario, not worst case, but likely scenario, maybe it comes down a little bit lower to 2470 ish. But I think this is probably the damage has been done, and I think the market's probably going to bounce back on Monday. My favorite indicator that I own is the crown jewel, and this always bounces off of this spot. This is almost always, except for the huge tariff news at the beginning of the year, it always comes down and bounces from here. We'll see if it does again on Monday to Tuesday, but I think it will. Dividend distributions are here. I'm going to mark them out for the next video. I want to take a I want to do a better analysis between TSPY and TDAC in the future to see which one or which percentage you want to put into your portfolio. I am heavily invested in this now. As I said in the last video, I was going to once we got a red day. We got a red day today, so I did put money into both. Here's a comparison at the same scale between TDAC, which is the white line, and the red and green candles is TSPY. So, and percentage-wise, TDAC did have a harder drop. That's because, you know, the NASDAQ is more risky than the SPY is, but at the same time, I think they're very similar. I think in a good portfolio, actually, if you look at the 1 hour, I got a green God candle, they call it, on the crown jewel. So that is definitely a buy area. It's under my white line, which is my buy line normally for stocks and cryptocurrencies. That's where I would buy at. And it's usually around 30% on the jewel indicator. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you want me to do more ETFs in the future, let me know in the comments which ones I should cover. I like to cover the charts as well because I think it helps a lot of people out to know where the buy areas are. And we're definitely in a buy area for both. Let me check some of the individual stocks as well. Nvidia's there pretty much at a buy level. Definitely Meta's not quite there. Pretty close. Google, where's Google at? Google is not quite there, but very close. SoFi is an interesting one to watch. It's at a support level here, which I do not think it's going to break. If it does, it'll go down. I think it's going to hold there. SoFi has been a hot stock, and it's been in this range for a while. As always, thank you for watching. Have a great day.